Crypto Kids, Bitcoin is trading above 41,000 US dollars, and we've kind of entered that market structure where Bitcoin just ends up pumping. Now, this happens usually when we enter into a new bull market. So we're to discuss about that and much, much more on today's video. So make sure to watch until the end. But ladies and gents, destroy that like button. That would mean the world to me, especially now that Bitcoin is over 41,000 US dollars. But without further ado, let's jump in to the Bitcoin price action. But guys, as you all know, we've been running a 1,000 USDT giveaway with Bitflex, and the winner for the 1,000 USDT giveaway is Ray. So Ray, massive congrats. The Bitflex team should be reaching out to you very soon. We'll be doing more giveaways in the future. A lot of cool stuff with Bitflex. And if you are looking for a place to trade, of course, you can head over to the video description down below and sign up. Just takes you 20 seconds to sign up and start trading. But guys, let's jump into the Bitcoin technical analysis because I know that's what you guys are wondering about and what's going to happen next. So we're gonna do a kind of a rundown on what's happened in the previous couple of months for Bitcoin, and we're gonna jump into the macro time frame in terms of the parabola. I have an interesting metric for you over there and the next key level of resistance. So looking at what's been happening for the past couple of months, Bitcoin was trading within this parallel channel, and all of these pumps then retracements towards the downside have all been caused by the same news, the ETF news, right? Especially this parabolic bullish move that we've had. It's been caused by the ETF news. Now, looking at the data as well, this pump towards the upside, just like the bull markets before, it's not from the new entrants into the market from new users. It's actually the same users that we've been seeing in previous cycles. So we're not actually seeing a lot of new entrants go into the market. It's kind of the same people that are causing this pump alongside institutional investors. So that aside, Bitcoin had a $38,000 target from this particular parallel channel, which of course we smashed above. Now, if we jump into lower time frames, Bitcoin then created a rising wedge. Now, in the previous video, I mentioned that rising wedges in technical analysis usually do end up breaking towards the downside. However, of course, there's always the chance we break up, right? And in the previous video, I mentioned a possible trade target that if you wanted to take the trade, you could do so. So if I jump into the previous video, this was the trade that I mentioned. And if you did decide to take it, then massive, massive congratulations. You would be in pretty large profits. Now, the take profit for this trade was at $43,290. Now, if you're wondering why that was the particular target, well, the reason is that at 43.2K exactly, Bitcoin will face a lot of resistance. We can see that in Bitcoin's history, we came down to this level, found beautiful support, found resistance, dumped towards the downside. So it's been pretty important in Bitcoin's history. Of course, it's not as important as this 31K level, which now I call as the bear market, bull market line, because if we're above it, then I think we're in a bull market. If we're below it, then we're in a bear market. I think that's what this level is now known for. So the next level of resistance Bitcoin will face will be at $43,200. Now, there's something very interesting that's been happening. And this interesting thing is that in the last 7 candles, now the 8th one, Bitcoin has been pumping. So if we jump into my tweet that I posted just a couple of minutes ago, actually it's been over an hour. So Bitcoin has created 7 consecutive green candles. Now, just so you can see it more clearly, I'll zoom out. So you can see that back in 2020, Bitcoin pumped for 7 candles consecutively, and now in 3 years, after 3 exact years, Bitcoin has done 8 candles, including the one that we're trading right now. So that's incredibly bullish, because if we zoom back in, we can see that after this 7 consecutive candle pump, Bitcoin went over 257% towards the upside. Now, of course, history doesn't repeat exactly, but of coming up towards the halving especially, I think Bitcoin can continue its momentum towards the upside. So if we go into the macro halving chart, Bitcoin is still in this parabola, and it's coming towards the halving. We're around 4 months away from the Bitcoin halving, and looking at previous cycles, excluding this one because of COVID. So COVID did take us down pretty hard, but we did retrace back towards the upside. So this is an anomalous value because of an external factor. So if we look at previous halvings, which were 4 months before, we actually saw pretty weirdly around the exact same pump, a 96.68% pump. It's a little different because I'm on the macro time frame. We can't see the exact intrinsic value, intricate value, but it was basically a similar pump, a 97% pump towards the upside every time that we were 4 months before a halving. So that is pretty crazy, right? It's actually a pretty crazy coincidence. And now looking at where we are right now, Bitcoin is already pumped on this month's candle. So we're 4 months away. We've already gone up about 9% just in the past 4 days since the start of this month, right? So 9% is pretty crazy. And if we go into the halving, then, and we were to see a 96% pump, of course, that's going to be like above the past all-time high. So am I saying this is going to happen? Probably not the next all-time high, but what we can do definitely suggest is that Bitcoin can come up to the next level of resistance, which will be at $47,000. So this is kind of my target for the Bitcoin halving, which will be coming at around March. So March or April. Now, if I get my line, so this vertical line, we can highlight March over here, or the end of March, start of April. So about there, Bitcoin will see the halving, and towards the halving, I think we can come up to the $47,000 level. So that's what I'd be saying. And just another oscillator to support this argument, it's the ADXR and the ADX. So what the ADX does is it's actually the blue line here. Whenever we see a new trend, if the ADX is increasing and it's at a high point, then this suggests that this trend is a strong trend. So the ADX is increasing, meaning this strong trend, it's pretty strong, right? So this trend that we're seeing, this bullish trend, is pretty strong, and we crossed above the ADXR. And the ADXR is basically, it measures 14 different candles and creates an average, so of the ADX, meaning that it's even a stronger trend that the ADXR is also increasing. So that's a little bit of a complicated oscillator, but it's a good thing. It means that the current bullish trend is strong for Bitcoin. Now, the last thing that I'll mention, this Dogecoin trade that we discussed about on previous videos. So about the break of this triangle. Now Dogecoin just hit 9 cents, which is not bad whatsoever. And we've pumped about 25%. We were discussing about this triangle breakout. So if you did decide to trade Doge, massive congrats to you. You would have been up 25%. I've already spoke about how bullish that I'm on Dogecoin. So yeah. That is pretty cool. We've not seen 9 cents for Dogecoin in a long time. The last time we saw 9 cents were in April of 2023. So there you go. But guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. I think if I jump back onto my browser, I may have a couple of more things to discuss about. So this is a pretty cool metric. After the Binance settlement, we saw that actually Bybit and Coinbase saw the most inflow of Bitcoin, whereas Binance saw and other US exchanges saw massive outflows of Bitcoin from their exchanges. So that's pretty interesting. And in terms of how we're performing within the month, I believe it should be this one. December is not a bad month whatsoever. It's a bit of a 50-50 month, but we have pumped more than we've decreased in December. And this month, it is supporting that claim. So December is usually a good month. So let's see what happens by the end of this month, and of course by the end of this year. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm super happy that Bitcoin's pumping. Guys, I will see you all in the next video very soon. So guys, take care and bye-bye.